2001, the International Hockey League ceased operations after more than 50 years in existence. The two-time IHL champion Chicago Wolves found themselves looking for a new home.
Today, the Chicago Wolves have entered into a new era as a member of the second oldest professional hockey league in North America, the American Hockey League. Even more exciting news for the franchise is the fact that joining us in our new era is one of the National Hockey League's up-and-coming franchises, the Atlanta Thrashers.
The transition wasn't completely without its hurdles. The Wolves absorbed the roster of the Orlando Solar Bears. That team had just beat them in the postseason and gone on to win the 2001 Turner Cup.
In continuing with the Wolves' tradition and commitment to excellence, it is very important to us that we bring back a core of players and people that have helped us achieve what we have in the past. John Anderson, Steve Malte, Rob Brown, and Bob Nardella have all agreed to terms for the upcoming season. These people, along with several others that will be announced in the future, will ensure that the fans of Chicago will be able to enjoy some of the faces that they have come to know and love.
Until they became one team instead of two, the season's success was a question mark.
I think it took a little while to ultimately, form our own identity and form our own team.
Those guys were so young, they were fresh out of it, they had just won, kind of spoiled. You win your first year. Do you really realize what went into it? And it took a while.
The team wasn't used to being affiliated. That was another adjustment. The thing I liked was that, the two best teams in the IHL the year before were now kind of merging in the American League. I thought we should win. I thought we should dominate the whole year, but it didn't happen.
I think just the enthusiasm of those kids just kind of eventually just got to the older guys where we were kids again. It was, hey, let's go play. Let's have fun. Let's not worry about the outcome. Let's just go play.
There were some guys that didn't want to buy into the program that we did. And as soon as we weeded those guys out, that's when the team gelled.
How about some of the other guys who were in Orlando last year? They're going to think every year is like this.
The personalities in that room.
Oh, had a mesh. They really do have a mesh. It was an added element that had to happen in that dressing room to mesh. And quite honestly, I just think it was I don't think it would work in any other organization.
The unity and leadership that eventually found its way into the Wolves locker room that year had a great example in Wolves upper management.
I remember when the former team, the Orlando Solar Bear players, received their championship rings. And there was no formal presentation to be able to give it to them. There's no team, no banner raising that they could be a part of or anything like that. So I remember I brought them into the room, and I had all the rings, and so we had a little presentation, to those players. We talked about how great it would be, to be able to win a championship of our own as a group. And I think it was, for me anyway, and maybe for the guys that had lost that year, it was just enough to kind of dig deep again and say that hurt, that really, really hurt, and I don't want to be the second place person again.
It was moments like this during the season that would mold the two teams into one, but it was still a fight to the finish.
I still today refer back to that 02 championship. It was a year that we weren't one of the top teams. The thing that I loved about that team and a thing that I preach to my teams now was how tenacious that team was. When I look at the championships that we won in Chicago, that one was by far the most special because we weren't supposed to win.
Slowly, the leadership group there kind of just, made everyone a believer that we could win a championship, and I really didn't understand it at the time. I thought it was just, a little bit of luck and something that'll happen a few times in my career. And 13 years later, it's the only ring I have, so it's obviously something that has been pretty special to me.
Nobody ever thought that we would do that. We were new to the league, a completely different team. We limped into the playoffs. Chevy made a massive trade just before the deadline, which completely changed the mix. And slowly but surely, as the playoffs went on, we got better and better and better.
The win, so soon after joining the American Hockey League, was really about saying goodbye to the IHL too. It became what goodbyes sometimes are, bittersweet.
Speaking about those leagues, the fact that they let the I be the I somewhere else that bothers me, because you have the old school guys that put up big numbers, and they're kind of washed away and kind of lost in the American League.
I think the fact that we won 2 championships in the I, and then we still weren't validated as a franchise, because the I was like the ugly stepchild, and that's what it was, and no one gave us enough credibility in the I, and I think by the fact that the Chicago Wolves won the first championship when they joined the American Hockey League, I think it woke up a lot of people it gave credibility to what the I was all about. The American Hockey League was truly, they thought, was this and that. Then all of a sudden, the leagues merge, and who wins the first year? One of the I teams.
The Chicago Wolves have won their 3rd championship in 5 seasons.
That was fun, too. That was a whole lot of fun. What I especially liked about it, I think, was the sweet victory of coming into the new league. And I don't recall, shall we say, the ticker tape parade reception of coming into the league. And so to win it that was about as sweet as it gets.
The new winds they blow, the further, the deeper we go.
Tune in next time as Daring Greatly continues to chart the history of the Chicago Wolves in this exclusive docu-series.